In today's video, we're going to be looking at the UFC 263 betting odds for Israel Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori, as well as the Nate Diaz and Leon Edwards fight. And I'm going to be showing you guys how to place a bet on your favorite UFC fights. And in this particular video, we're going to be focusing on UFC 263, but you can use Bovada for any UFC event or any other sport you would like. So with that said, let's get started. So we got UFC 263. Let's go ahead and take a look at the odds for the main event. Over here, Israel Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori. Israel Adesanya is a minus 265. Marvin Vettori is a plus 210. So Adesanya is a minus 265, meaning he's the favorite. Marvin Vettori is the underdog going into this fight. So if you were to bet $100 on Vettori, that $100 would net you $210. That same $100, if you were to bet on Israel Adesanya, you're going to probably make about 30 or 40 bucks. Let's see, $37.74. That's because he is the favorite. Okay, and now there's 15 other bets you can place. And make sure you stick to the end of this video because I'm going to be showing you guys how you guys can do something called a parlay, where you combine multiple bets. And instead of just making 2 or 3 times your money, you can make a lot more than that. So stick around for that. So let's take a look at Nate Diaz versus Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards is a huge favorite. I just watched the press conference. There is a massive size difference between the two fighters. I think this is probably the hardest fight Nate Diaz could have taken. And we know he's a warrior, so he took this fight. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm a Nate Diaz fan, but Leon Edwards is a huge favorite. So if you bet $100 on Leon Edwards, you would only win $17.39 if you won the fight. That same 100, if you put it on Nate Diaz, you're going to win $390. So as you can see, that's about 20 to 25 times the amount of money. That's because Nate Diaz is a huge underdog, but he has surprised us in previous fights. So those are the two main fights that I'm going to be watching. There are other events. Here's the co-main event with Brandon Moreno, and then there's the whole undercard, right? So you can bet on all these fights. So another thing you can do is there's 15 different bets. So for example, the Adesanya and Marvin Vettori bet, right? 15 different bets. And the link will be in the description for Bovada once again. So if you do want to place these bets, make sure you check out that link. You're going to be able to earn a bonus by signing up. I'm also going to put a link to a second sports book. Sometimes the odds are more favorable on the other sports books, so make sure you sign up to both of those. But getting back to this, so you can actually predict how the fight ends and make a lot more money. And so method of victory. So for example, if you think Marvin Vettori wins inside distance, or if he wins by round 5 decision, right? If he wins a decision, you win plus 385, meaning you would win close to 4 times your money. If you think it's a draw and you predict that correctly, you would win 66 times your money. So if you put $1,000 and for some reason it was a draw, you'd win $66,000. So let's take a look. So let's say Israel Adesanya. So you know he's a striker. So the odds are really low for him to win by submission. But if you were to do so, you'd win 12 times your money. So if you bet $100, you would win $1,200. Now, you can predict the round over here, right? Let's say you think Vettori is going to win and you predict a round 5 win, whether that's knockout or submission, you would win 30 times your money. So if you bet $1,000, you would win $30,000. If you bet 100, you would win $3,000. So there's many different prop bets over here. So you could go through all of these. You don't have to pick a winner. You could pick the total rounds. Does this fight go past 1 round? Does it go past 2 rounds, past 3 rounds? There's all these different prop bets. I'm not going to take a look at all of them, but I want to quickly show you guys what a parlay is. A parlay is when you combine multiple bets, okay? So for example, let's just take the main event, the co-main event, and the Leon Edwards and Nate Diaz fight. Let's say you pick all the underdogs in all 3 fights. So you take Nate Diaz, you take Moreno, and then you take Vettori. Now you can do something called a parlay, meaning that instead of betting on each individual fight, say you think all 3 of these guys are going to win, you could click parlay over here. Where'd it go? Just a second. Risk 100. Oh yeah, right there. So right on the bottom over here. So this risk is the total. It's a parlay for all three of these. So let's say you do $1,000, right? $1,000 parlay. You would win $42,000 if all three of these underdogs won. So you could play around with the odds. You could combine any different fight you want. You could do all the fights. You could bet $10. You know, I'm just showing you guys an example. So like maybe you just want to do two fights. You want to do the Vittori and the Moreno fight. You want to bet $50. You bet 50. You win $391, right? So it's up to you guys. That's just an example I'm showing you guys. You can go ahead and you could bet on all the fights. Like let's say you took all the underdogs, right? Like or let's just take a few of them, right? Let's take some of the underdogs over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll take the Nate Diaz one, right? So what? We got 6 picks over here. So I'm not even doing all of them. You'd win 83. Wait. So you're at plus 83,733. So if you bet $100, you would win. Damn, you would win $83,000. So if you bet $1,000, you would win $837,000 if you nailed all of these picks over here. 6 picks, 6 underdogs. They're huge underdogs, like Nate Diaz. That's why the payout so went big. So you risk $1,000, you win $837,000. So how about how much do you need to win $1 million? Okay, so $1,200, you would win $1 million if you nailed all 6 of these picks, which is going to be very difficult to do. But these are just some random picks, right? You can combine your favorite picks, the ones that you think. I would do a parlay only on fights that you think you're going to bet on anyways, right? So let's say I do think Vittori's going to win. And let's say I do think Nate Diaz is going to win, which I do think there's a handful of people out there that do. Although I'd say 80 or 90% of people are probably thinking Leon Edwards. But let's say you do think these two guys are going to win over here, right? And let's go and pick one more fight, some random fight over here. Let's say you think Terrence McKinney is going to win over here, right? So you could do three. Like 3 is reasonable. You could hit a 3-fight parlay. So if you bet that same, let's call it $100 only. You would win $4,760. Not bad, right? 1,000, you'd win $47,608. So when you're doing multiple bets, sometimes it's fun to do parlays. You could do individual bets. You could do parlays. Just keep in mind when you're doing a parlay, you do got to hit all of them. It's like an all or nothing. So maybe you could do some individual bets. So if you're doing $1,000 on individual bets, maybe you could do $100 on each parlay or something like that. But anyways, let me know in the comment section who you guys are betting on. And once again, you can use Bovada for any UFC event, for any sport, basketball, baseball, soccer, hockey, UFC, golf. There's all sports over here. They do have a casino, so while you're waiting around, I know a lot of people like to play casino games, so they have all these games over here. Check it out for yourself. The link will be in the description. I'll see you guys later.